Hello, everyone. We are back with the Brent Connor Show, and today my guest is Casey Baynes. Hello, Casey.
Hey, it's great to be on.
Great to be on from where? Arizona?
We are in Arizona. We are excited. We have good friends of ours getting married this weekend. So we're excited to celebrate with them. And you can never go wrong with weddings.
Yeah, definitely not. Now, most of the listeners, I think there's like 120 maybe, are in Maryland. Now, unless you live under a rock, Casey is the founder and executive director of the Casey Cares Foundation. And before we get started into talking about how great Casey Cares is, Casey, I was walking down the street about an hour ago, right? Did a little quick errand, and a young man approached me, and he said, "Excuse me, do you know what date the 4th of July is on this year?" And this has bothered me the rest of the day, I got to be honest. You have young kids. I don't know if the kid was like pranking me or that I was missing something. He had like a little bit of a smirk on his face. And then I said, I, what do you think, kid? He goes, is it on the 11th? I said, no, it's on the 4th. Then he said, okay, thank you. And he walked away. It was definitely some sort of joke. Am I missing something? Is that over my head?
I think it was a bad joke.
It was a bad joke.
Bad joke.
Okay.
I mean, and do you think these bad jokes are coming because the kids don't get enough time to test it, like face to face, their jokes anymore? That's all done electronically? I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible. I think I'm so messed up in the head sometimes that it bothered me the rest of the day. I couldn't concentrate on what I wanted to do. I don't like being made fun of, and I thought the kid was maybe making fun of me. Anyway, one more thing before we get into all the good stuff. Were you a Breaking Bad fan?
Surprisingly, I was. I was a little late to the game, but once I got in...
Why surprisingly? Because you're so sweet and bubbly that a dark, demented show wouldn't be your kind of cup of tea?
It was such a commitment. Like, it was so many seasons, and I felt like I don't like to be behind in things. And so I just found that, like, gosh, I have so many seasons. How am I ever going to catch up? But, man, I take my commitment seriously. I banged through those, like, it was amazing, amazing show. Not amazing, like good, like very eye-opening for me, but it was a great show.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite of all time. I banged it out pretty quickly. I'm not going to tell you how quickly I watched it. I want you to have some respect for me. But they are now making a movie, apparently.
That's what I heard.
They're going to follow Jesse Pinkman after he escapes, so that's exciting.
That it's cool. I like they're putting a different twist. I was so addicted to like getting through the next episode. I would take it to the gym with me.
Really?
And just go on the treadmill and watch Breaking Bad. I don't think I had any like personal records that I was setting on my pace, but it kept me on the treadmill a lot longer than normal.
That's a good idea. Very good idea. All right. Now, the Casey Cares Foundation, you have a number of events throughout the year. You do wonderful things for the kids. You benefit critically ill children and their families. It's really sad what they have to go through. It's terrible, and I've seen it firsthand, some of the benefactors. There is a big event this weekend. They Sing for a Cause karaoke event at Looney's in Maple Lawn. Why should people attend? How does raising money for the Casey Cares benefit these kids and the families?
It's crazy to think that we have been helping critically ill kids at Casey Cares for 20 years. It just amazes me. And not only is it the 20 years, but it's the over 30,000 participants in our programs that we have been able to go into their lives and help pick up their spirits. So what does all that mean? Like you said, why go to these events? Why are these events so important? Because we are a volunteer-driven organization. We need to take every dollar and turn around and use it for the families in our programs, because we've never had to deny the request of a child who needs our support at Casey Cares because of eligibility. And we never want to. Even with the amount of growth that we've had throughout the past 2 decades, we've still never said no. So somebody might think, oh, it's not a big deal going out, Saturday night to sing for a cause. Oh, it's only a few bucks to get in. But those few dollars mean so much. It might convert into a movie and pizza night at home for a family. That's nothing. People do that all the time. Not people who are battling for their lives. They are so just roped in and tied down to exactly that battle, battling for their life. Their entire world has been turned upside down. And something as simple as a movie and pizza night at home allows them to feel like normal because that's their goal. This family, these families, they just want to be normal again and have their health.
Exactly. And that's what I love about what you guys do. There are a lot of great foundations and organizations that raise money for research, but I think oftentimes it's neglected that these children, these families are not living normal lives anymore. And you allow them that experience to just kind of escape what they're going through for those few short hours or for a weekend. And they
It's
absolutely
all
need that.
Yeah, it's all about those little moments and lasting memories. This one kiddo who was in our programs, his name is Ashton, and he's an amazing little boy, like
Yeah,
all the kids.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so he had the opportunity to throw out the first pitch at an O's game. And first off, that is cool for anybody. But Ashton is not mobile, so he needed a lot of help to get out, to be able to be supported and to kind of throw the pitch. And know that I mean throw, not like you and I would throw, but he put the ball in his hand and he was able to get it
Yeah.
to a different spot. And so I'm standing, over like on the warning track area with his dad, and his dad got so filled up. And he's like, oh my God, I never thought I'd see my boy play baseball. And look at him. Now he's in the bigs.
Wow.
And I mean, your heart just melts.
Yes.
This was a 15-minute opportunity. I have chills just talking about it. Like, it was
Yeah, I
a
can tell.
15-minute opportunity. But yet, this will be a memory this family cherishes for the rest of all of their lives. And that's what we're all about at Casey Cares.
I love it. So how did you get started? So 20 years now?
Yeah, 20 years. So
Are
very,
we having a 20th anniversary party?
oh my God, let's do it.
Let's
I
do it.
think we should celebrate everything and anything. So I'm on board. Um, my background is I was working and running in my family's trucking and warehousing company. It's been in operation for 150 years, and
Whoa.
it's always and it's always been run by the men, passed down generation to generation. And most recently, my brother Chad and I were running it, and it was so much fun working with family, my dad and my brother, and at a young age, being able to run a company like that was a pretty awesome opportunity. But I had always been raised like you in giving back to the community. That's an important pillar in our everyday from the time that I can remember. And so I was volunteering in the hospital and I was coordinating a wish for this little boy. And it was for a race car driver. I know not a whole lot about NASCAR, but it came to the day and the little guy got too sick to be taken out to like a conference room, like a bigger room. He had to stay in his room, which
Uh-huh.
was fine. We brought the driver and of course all the hoopla. We had cameras, there was photographers, the whole 9 yards. And the race car driver comes in and he has his jumpsuit, that outfit that they wear,
Sure.
and then the hood of his freaking car to give to this guy. I mean, the cameras are flashing, there's tears flowing. I mean, it was amazing. But as the volunteer, I back away to let the magic happen. And when I backed away against that curtain that like supposedly divides the two rooms,
Then you
I heard
literally had an aha moment.
yeah,
How
I
about
heard a
that?
little boy say, I wish I had cancer. Maybe I get cool stuff too.
Ooh.
And with that, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And so days and days went by. And after talking to physicians and social workers and parents about why a child would want to have cancer, I found out that they don't want to have cancer. They just want the supportive programs. People automatically can identify with cancer. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're going through chemo. Or you're going to lose your hair. Oh, my aunt went through chemo. Oh, my grandmom went through chemo. Like people know. But these other blood disorders or chronic type conditions that turn critical very quickly, or organ transplants, you name it, even undiagnosed illnesses that require kids to get in the hospital, Casey Cares is there to support
So
as
it's
well as the
not just
cancer.
cancer.
Nope, not just cancer, which I believe makes us truly an asset to the community.
Absolutely. So during the 20 years, you've had tremendous growth, but you had a hiccup along the way. Tell us the story about the fire. Terrible story, and how you built back up, and how resilient the Casey Cares Foundation is.
Yeah, it was devastating. So I get a phone call. I was putting my kids to bed. They were babies at the time. I was putting my kids to bed, and I get a phone call from our neighbor, Barton Cotton, and they said, "Casey, I see smoke coming from your building." And I was like, "That's
Where
weird."
was this? Was this in?
In Arbutus, in Baltimore, like outside of Baltimore.
Okay.
And so keep in mind, remember the trucking and warehousing company?
Yep.
Well, Casey Cares, when we first started, was in that trucking warehousing complex because free rent, right? Free Wi Fi or free internet, I guess, at that time,
Yeah.
free telephone lines. So, right, that was a big deal to us. And so our offices were right there. And so it was late at night. It was a rainy day. The first weekend it was June 1st, I think, June 2nd, June 2nd. And so I thought, you know what, I'll drive down to the warehouse. And at that time, my brother had called me and said, hey, I got this notification, the security system. Something's going on at the warehouse. I was like, it's crazy. I'm on my way there. I got it. I'll fix it. So then, right, I'll fix it. So then I call when I'm on 95 coming up, still probably about 8 to 10 miles away from the warehouse. I see all this smoke, really dark smoke, and it's pitch black. I mean, it's nighttime. It's 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I call 911, and the woman says, Miss Wallenweber, my maiden name, Miss Wallenweber, what kind of vehicle are you driving? I'm thinking to myself, who is this? I mean, keep in mind, this is 10 years ago. Like, everybody didn't have this
Okay.
caller ID bit, we all know. And so I told her the kind of vehicle I was driving. She's like, okay, we'll allow you in. I'm thinking to myself, what does that mean? Like, it's my warehouse. Of course you're going to let me in. Well, little did I know the police line or the fire line was out at least 3/4 of a mile. People weren't allowed in. It was raining soot and stuff because the product we warehouse was paper. So think about 2,000-pound rolls of paper piled from the ground to a 24-foot clear ceiling. So you're about 8 high and about 12 back. The fire burned for 3 weeks because it was the perfect scenario, all that paper.
Get out of
And then
here.
we had forklifts inside that had propane on the back. So they're exploding. So needless to say, it was devastating.
Do you need to take that?
No,
You
I
can
was
take
silent.
that during the show.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting for all involved?
Sure.
Um, so okay, so
Fire.
then,
Oh, it's okay.
um, so the fire, right? So then it was devastating. I mean, I can't explain that. Did you know the fire department has a snack truck that rolls on up when they realize that their firefighters are going to be there for days?
A snack truck?
There's a snack truck. It is a full-fledged mobile snack truck.
Wow.
And
You learn
the
something new
side of
every
it,
day.
yeah, the side comes up. It's lit inside. I mean, it's there to provide for the guys. They need the nutrition and whatnot.
They were
But
there for days nonstop.
nonstop. Over 300 firefighters. So, but in this, and I mean, I learned so many interesting things. The gentleman would come in. I thought that I could go, because we had some papers like Casey Cares backup, the backup disks that we used to have. You would
Yeah.
back up your server and put it in your safe. Well, safes are only fire rated for X amount of temperature at X amount of time. And, but they have this special team that comes in that's supposed to go in and get all your important documents and whatever. So they go into burning buildings, and they, based on a map that you draw out for them, or they have the floor plans, and you tell them where to go to get your important documents. And maybe this isn't a thing anymore because everything's digital, but it was then. And these gentlemen came out
I miss those
in their
days.
whole fire gear with these big bags. And as soon as they opened them, everything just disintegrated because they were so hot. And once the air touched them, they just disintegrated. Uh, it was a really interesting process, but I think the thing that allowed us at Casey Cares and even at Wallenweber's Trucking to go on was there was a man who came. I don't know how he got through the fire line, but he came and he's like, "Are you Casey?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm here to help." And I'm like looking in front of me, just flames dancing nonstop. This is 4 acres. The fire is 4 acres big, wide, and expanding to other buildings. The firefighters are just trying to keep the fire from taking another building. And he's like, I'm here to help. You just sent my son and me to the monster truck show. We had the best time. I saw you on the news and I just have to help.
Wow.
And with that, I was like, you know what? We may lose everything, but it's nothing. It's just 4 walls. It really isn't everything. The heart of the organization is still strong by evidence of this man getting off of his couch at midnight and coming to find us and see how he can help. And that's where just the heart of the organization comes from the community. And I just am so thrilled that we have been able to thrive in all kinds of times, whether the economy's been bad, whether through natural disasters or something, like the fire. We've just always been able to rely on our community to make sure that a child never misses an activity.
I don't think I ever heard the full story. Obviously, I knew about the fire. I don't think I ever heard that. That's an amazing story. Somebody,
Yeah, it's
wow.
crazy, right? I mean, it's just people are amazing, amazing.
Yeah, it's nice to hear good things like that, especially with all the bad stuff going on in the world.
Hmm.
So you're expanding to different cities. You mentioned you're now in Florida, or
Yes,
soon
different
to be in
states.
Florida. Different
Yeah.
states.
So we added, so we started out in Maryland, but think about this. We have amazing hospitals in Maryland, and people come from all over to get treatment at those hospitals. So then what we were finding is even within our first year of helping families, is that, oh, this family comes to University of Maryland or Sinai or Hopkins, but they actually live in Philly. And, that scenario went all throughout, whether they lived in West Virginia and they're coming up here. So we started working with the other hospitals. And in, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, DC, Virginia, West Virginia. And then 2 years ago, we had a group that came to us and said, hey, we support you in Maryland and our headquarters is in Ohio. We would love to help you, if this makes sense for you, to bring Casey Cares to Ohio. We would like to support you in doing so. And then we contacted our other generous supporters who also had offices in Ohio, and they were thrilled. The hospitals were just overjoyed that we could come in and offer this breadth of service that nobody else is offering to these families who are in need. And we were able to execute it, and our growth had no negative impact on the families that we were already serving. Because that's a big growth isn't always good, right? And that was a big concern of ours, but we were able to do it seamlessly. We added so many amazing families, and we're excited to do it again in 2019 in Florida.
Very awesome. One of the things that's impressive is you managed to partner with anybody who's somebody, big athletes, celebrities at all the different cities you work with. How have you gotten the Chris Davises, the Nick Markakis, guys like that involved?
I think what the thing that we are blessed with at Casey Cares is that we don't work with any jerks. I mean, I think that jerks just aren't attracted to what we do, right?
No.
Everything we do is feel good. It's just an amazing opportunity to make a direct impact on the life of a child. And so I think that it's a pretty natural fit to wonderful people who at their core are just good. And, you mentioned Chris Davis. Jill and Chris are so amazing. I mean, they truly believe in what we do, and they're there to help Casey Cares in whatever aspect. Yeah, you hear about their, the meet and greets they do at batting practice or the 5K, but they do so many other things behind the scenes just to help families. And they are not looking for the accolades or the credit for anything. They just want to help. So I think it's just not necessarily us seeking these folks, but I think it's people who want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've been involved with Casey Cares for over 5 years, I would say.
Yeah. 6 years since
Yeah, and it's
2012, since I was getting tackled by Arthur Jones and the Casey Cares mascot.
I still consider that one of the luckiest days because do you remember I was going to get in the mascot? Because I
You
was like,
were you were in the mascot suit, right? And I said, how funny would it be just to see a big guy like you, tackle a mascot? He said, well, I'm not
yes.
going to tackle Casey. And I said, well, fine, I'll get in the suit. You can hit me. I didn't think he was going to hit me that hard. I started calling him names before they filmed it. Some old guy stuff. Then he starts running at me full speed. I'm like, what is he doing? And he just drills me.
I can still hear the impact of it. Truly one of my luckiest days of my life because I
Yeah.
think I would still be laying there now.
Oh yeah. He wouldn't. He would have taken it. He wouldn't hit you. But
Well, and it was just instinct. It was totally just instinct. We told him to take down that kite. And I think I think you had a ball in your hand, a football in your hand,
I
and
was I was
he
off and
turned
running. Yep.
around. Yep.
Yeah, that was good times. So who are some other folks that you do things with?
We have so many different supporters who really help us. Brian Billick just did a great event for us, what we call our Sports Legends series, where he spends the night with a really small group of people, about 50 people, and just kind of shares inside insight from the NFL, which is always a great night. And it's a rare opportunity to kind of do a Q&A and actually hear what goes on in the locker room or hear what goes on in Billick's mind as, they're about to win the Super Bowl.
Sure. Fun story. My dad, who does not want me to talk about him on this, but I'm sure he won't mind this. He's a pilot. He never was a commercial pilot. He just flew like small planes, and he was
Mhm.
more of a test pilot. Somehow in like 2001, he was tasked with flying Brian Billick to North Carolina to shoot a commercial. It was just them two.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he said he.
And I'm glad he didn't crash. I mean, that pressure must have been pretty intense.
Oh no, not my dad.
Not really.
My dad's a top-notch pilot. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So we went to this is before I got into that world. I was just a high school kid. Went to, I think it was a mini camper training camp practice. Spent the day there, so that was cool. But anyway, back to more of the events that you do. What else you got coming up soon, other than Sing for a Cause? There's the gala in March.
The gala's in March. We have
Am
so
I
many great events,
am I
and we
saying
have
that
so
right?
many.
By the way, is it gala or gala?
So I am a Baltimore girl, so I say gala.
You gonna go down
But
to the Casey Cares gala, hon?
exactly.
They have natty bows there and crab cakes from Jimmy's Famous Seafood.
See now, and why do you even question how you say it then?
I've never really I didn't know. It's one
Yeah,
of those
no.
things I
I
didn't
Some
know how to
people
say
say
it.
it both ways. I feel like those more classy folks maybe say gala. I'd like to
Yeah.
go to a gala.
Oh
No, I
yeah,
think
those
gala. It
people.
does slip up. No, I'm a gala girl.
Okay, I'm going with gala then.
Gala.
Yeah.
But we always have events, and we always have ways for people to get involved. Whether it's volunteering, whether it's if there's a bunch of people who get together for book club, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what? For the holidays, when we have our book club ladies over, everybody bring a gift card for $20 to Walmart. Um, that means the world to our families. So there's so many ways to get involved, whether it's the big events like the gala or Sing for the Cause, or the little everyday things. It all makes a big impact on these children who their lives have been rocked.
Yeah. So how do I get involved? The website's caseycares.org.
Yep,
There's
CASEY cares.org.
then you have all the events listed and ways to donate and get involved and volunteer, right?
Yeah, and we need people to tell their friends because every year there's over 20,000 critically ill children diagnosed with a critical illness. And that's too many. And right now we're not helping
Way
them
too many.
all.
Yeah.
Way too many, and we want to help all of them. So we need people to spread the word when they run into somebody at their children's school who they feel they can apply to Casey Cares. They should go online and get an application or have them call us or recommend us or perhaps a niece or a nephew. But we are in the mid-Atlantic, Ohio, Florida, so we can help all of these children who really just need a dose of childhood.
Okay. And one day nationwide, right?
If
Maybe,
that makes
hopefully.
sense. You know what? I mean, if it makes sense, we want to make sure that we grow in a
Yeah.
way that doesn't jeopardize our programs. And so it's a little bit of different model than maybe a for-profit business is that we want to help all these families and we still get to know each and every one of our families. It's not what you can do A, B, or C, but we look at each family and see what they need. Where are they in their treatment process? And how can we pick them up and help them battle for their life?
Well, Casey, I love it. Obviously, I've been a big admirer of yours for a long time. Always want to help out any way I can. And I appreciate you joining me today. I'm glad I took the time out of my very busy schedule to do this with you.
So are we going to get
I'm
like
just
a
kidding. You're the busy one.
no, are we going to get a preview of like what song you're going to start out with Saturday night?
Maybe, she's an easy lover. She'll get a hold on you, believe it. Something like that.
Good. I hope there was a dance to go with that as well.
Yeah, there might be.
Well, I can't wait. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do,
Oh,
not just for
shucks.
Teacher Cares, but for the community as a whole. It's really, really great, and we couldn't do it without folks like you.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure, and I look forward to continuing it. We're going to grow this Sing for a Cause event.
I can't wait.
All righty. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.